Jamaica's public health system is broken. Every week we hear the horror stories. Long waiting times, no beds, basic equipment not working. Hospitals and clinics are in crisis. While this government cuts ribbons, Jamaicans are being left to suffer in overcrowded, under-resourced facilities like this one. The next PNP government will change this. We're going to shift focus. We want to prioritize actual care for people when they're sick, not these mega projects with huge cost overruns and that can't finish years after they start. Refurbishing every operating theatre, creating urgent care centres island-wide so people stop waiting days for help on benches or floors. We're going to launch national screening programs to target the biggest killers of our people: cancer, hypertension, which is pressure, diabetes, which is sugar. We want to catch them early so that people's lives can be saved. We will make the investments to ensure that every parish hospital has the equipment it needs to deliver the services required by the people. And stop the outsourcing racket that leaves patients with nothing but bills and delays. And we will support our healthcare workers, not just with words, but with housing, with training opportunities, and with respect. This is not about PR, it's about saving actual people's lives. Next PNP government will deliver proper, decent healthcare for the people of Jamaica. Time come.
Dog, yeah, JLP can't get my vote. Look on the state of High Man Road. The patrol them big like Anjo Note. That my hold me attack can't hold on phone. No crumble my Benz can't drive on the road. So me no know I'm close.
My fellow Jamaicans, this is Omar Newell, your Shadow Minister for the Environment and Climate Resilience. As we brace for the possible impact of Tropical Storm Melissa within the next 48 hours, I want to urge everyone to take this system seriously. Please stay tuned to updates from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management and follow all official advisories. Stock up on essential supplies, food, water with flashlights with batteries, and any necessary medication. Keep your phones fully charged and make sure your important documents are stored safely in waterproof containers. If your home is at risk, make arrangements to stay with family or go to the nearest designated shelter. Remember, your safety and that of your loved ones comes first. Let's look out for our neighbors, especially the elderly and vulnerable. Stay calm, stay alert, stay informed, and stay safe, Jamaica. One love.
Donovan Mitchell, Chairman of the Manchester Municipal Corporation, Mayor of Mandeville. Well, I am advised that we have some unstable weather that is lurking in our area in Jamaica here. And I just want to say to especially persons that are in the low-lying areas, we think of Porous and the Alligator Pond areas. We look at the Christiana area where it tend to have some mudslides, that persons be aware and be on the lookout just in case we have these weathers and we have land slippage or we have flooding. We must also recognize that we're still in the hurricane season. The hurricane season finishes on the 30th of November, so persons are to be prepared. The municipality is prepared. We have done some drain cleaning in the months of July and August, and so most of our main drains have been cleaned. I will be having a meeting shortly with the administrators and the persons that are in charge of the disaster preparedness so that we can know where we are, and that if there's any additional preparations that need to be made, that we have it made so that persons are safe coming into this weather.
Angry and frustrated, more than a dozen security guards rallied outside the head office of their former employer Tuesday morning. Some holding signs, others shouting chants, all with one message.
I need my money. Me need my money. I'm not talking to them today.
The guards were employed by Quest Security Services, a private security company that recently lost its contract at the Kingston Wharves. Since the development, workers say they have not been paid, some for more than 4 weeks.
And I'm been calling and nobody answering. All them on TikTok a dance and a gill off a piece soup and nobody not answer. You calling them and decline the call. If you call Mr. Him say me not mean it from all long now, soon come and them can't get back to me.
Since they lose Kingston Wharves, they don't willing to pay us our money. They've been hiding, they delete us out of group, they block us out of group, they don't want us to talk about our monies, and them doing all manner of evil.
It's important to note that some of the guards decided to stay with the new security company at the Kingston Wharves location. They told TVJ News they turned in their Quest uniforms along with their resignation letter, but to date, they have not been paid.
I come this morning, I come associate, I come something about my local dividends I'm supposed to get.
While on location, we observed a representative trying to quell the tension, but the guards were in no talking mood.
So them willing to talk now, because we are protest. No, we not in and not talking. We not in and not talking with them. Yeah. Not talking, we not in and with them. The JMB account them still at work, and our money we want in them. Today.
We contacted Quest Security Services for a comment multiple times today. After several attempts, we spoke with a senior member who told us the matter has been resolved. When pressed, he said the matter is under control. However, up to news time, some of the workers we spoke with said they had not been paid. Meanwhile, workers say they're prepared to take legal action.
If we have to get a lawyer, that's the next move.
Angry and frustrated.
Member of Parliament, Chris Brown. I just wanted to give my constituents an update of what occurred in Parliament today. The government, in preparation for possibly Tropical Storm Melissa or even Hurricane Melissa, through the Minister of Water, Environment and Climate Change, Matthew Samuda, made a statement in Parliament today updating the country as to the situation surrounding the movement of the system, advising the country what plans are being put in place by the disaster agencies, principally ODPEM and other related entities, to prepare for in terms of mitigation and response systems for the hurricane. He was also doing so on behalf of the Minister of Local Government, who he said was out of the country at the moment. Following that statement, which was, far-reaching and covered a lot of issues, including landslides and the readiness of those entities to respond to the imminent disaster, I rose on a matter relating specifically to the constituency, because over the past few days we have been having a lot of rains. A few of our interior communities and districts, namely Luna Field, have had some landslides which blocked sections of the roadway in those districts totally. As is the required process, I would have reported them directly to the ministry, to the National Works Agency, and expected, following from that report, because the communities were barred in, action to clear the land slippage so that the public and the residents can continue to move freely. Up to this morning, and these things would have occurred over the weekend, I think on Saturday, none of the areas were cleared. Constituents have been calling me repeatedly since Saturday, indicating that it is the residents who have had to pull up their sleeves and made some amount of access, like clearing out segments of the landslides to allow vehicles or traffic to move in case persons want to have emergencies to go to the hospital, or just to basically move to go to work, etc. In engaging the NAA this morning and related parties, I would have learned
that part of the challenge why the roads have not been cleared is based on the reluctance of some of the contractors to really undertake the clearance because they are owed significant sums by the government for past work done as it relates to similar clearances, etc. So when the minister spoke, I felt it important to ascertain from the government as it considers and prepares for the disaster response and the readiness of the agencies, if the minister was aware of this outstanding matter and if any effort and plans have been put in place or are being contemplated to address these so that whenever the response is required for contractors to assist the NAA and other entities to clear the roads, we won't have that recurring if hurricane or tropical storm Melissa is to cause landslides, as is the case with the rains recently. I was prevented from asking that. I was told that the NAA, landslides, and those issues were not germane to the minister because he was Minister of Water, Environment and Climate Change, even though he was not speaking specifically in that capacity as minister. He himself said that he was representing the Minister of Local Government. And in fact, he was giving a broad range statement from the government, on behalf of the government on the issue. Following I attempted to, because I was insistent on asking the question, because I believe that it is a matter that needed to be top of mind as part of the preparedness of the government to deal with any impact that could come from the system. The speaker insisted. Other members thereafter sought to raise questions as it relates to preparation and resources being put aside for drain cleaning and other such questions. The member from Southeast St. Andrew, member Julian Robinson, rose to reference some of his constituents who were flooded about 4 weeks ago. He was prevented from even continuing to his questions. And then the leader stood up and sought to raise some concerns about how the process was being administered by the speaker. And his mic was turned off. That was the ultimate disrespect. And the party felt, and the members felt, that it was very draconian, very dictatorial, and we would not stand for that sort of approach in the midst of an imminent national emergency where we must be allowed to raise all the pertinent issues to ensure that the government is considering all the factors associated with the hurricane and to ensure that we are fully ready to deal with it. So that's what took place. But as I've continuously said, as the elected member, I'm going to continue to raise questions that are at the heart of the livelihood of my constituents. I didn't frivolously get up to ask those questions because I wanted to ask. They were real for the people of Luna.